I quit my job and left on a round-the-world trip. Mr. Smith, anonymous software engineer. In 2008, fresh out of college, Mr. Smith, a pseudonym, embarked on what many would consider a typical career trajectory. He landed a job at a well-known tech company in Silicon Valley, working with a group of equally geeky colleagues. They all bonded over their shared passion for technology, but at that point, none of them could predict that Mr. Smith would soon be embarking on an extraordinary journey that would forever change his life. It was a time of great innovation in the tech world, but few could have anticipated the digital currency revolution that was about to take place. The financial landscape was still dominated by traditional institutions and systems, and Bitcoin, a digital currency that had just been introduced, seemed like a distant and risky concept, something that most people brushed off as a passing trend. However, in 2010, something changed. By then, Bitcoin had been around for a couple of years, but it wasn't on the radar of mainstream investors or even most tech experts. The price of Bitcoin back then was just 15 cents per coin. To put this into perspective, it seemed like an almost insignificant amount of money to invest in a seemingly experimental digital asset. But Mr. Smith had always been one to think long-term. He wasn't looking for a quick payoff, and he wasn't swayed by the skepticism around him. He believed in the future of decentralized currencies and saw Bitcoin as a bet on the future of finance. With a simple decision, he invested $3,000 into Bitcoin, acquiring nearly 20,000 coins. It wasn't a huge amount by traditional investment standards, but for him, it felt like a calculated risk worth taking. Little did he know that this modest investment would later become a life-changing fortune. For the next few years, Bitcoin's price remained relatively flat, and Mr. Smith, like many early investors, didn't pay it much attention. He was busy with his day job, advancing in his career and focusing on his life in Silicon Valley. But in 2013, everything changed. Bitcoin's value began to climb steadily, and for the first time it caught the attention of the media and investors alike. The news outlets began covering the rapid rise of Bitcoin, and its value shot up at a staggering rate. By then, Mr. Smith had almost forgotten about his investment, but when he saw the price reaching $350 per coin, his eyes widened. It had been 3 years since he'd purchased his coins, and now, his $3,000 investment was worth millions. This wasn't just a minor increase. This was life-changing money. At that point, he knew it was time to take action. Over the next few weeks, Bitcoin continued to climb, reaching new heights with every passing day. Mr. Smith decided to sell some of his holdings. He sold 2,000 Bitcoins at $350 each, walking away with $700,000. A few days later, when the price hit $800, he sold another 2,000 coins, pocketing $1.6 million. In just a matter of days, his net worth had increased dramatically. By the time he had liquidated his holdings, he had earned a total of $2.3 million. But for Mr. Smith, this wasn't just about the money. It was the realization that his early bet on Bitcoin had paid off, and now he had the financial freedom to do whatever he wanted. The decision to quit his job was immediate. He no longer needed the stability of his tech career. The life he had worked so hard for had led him to a point where he could now afford to do something most people only dream of: travel the world in luxury. Mr. Smith didn't just retire. He went all in on living the high life. He flew first class to some of the most luxurious destinations in the world, visiting places like New York City, Las Vegas, Monaco, Moscow, Zurich, and Hong Kong. In the span of just 30 days, he had dined at 5-star restaurants, enjoyed elite chef-prepared meals, and stayed in the finest hotels the world had to offer. His life had transformed from one of routine and deadlines to one of adventure and indulgence. With his newfound wealth, he no longer had to worry about working for a paycheck or being confined by the traditional 9-to-5 grind. He could now afford to do anything, go anywhere, and live a life of luxury and freedom that most people could only dream of. But what about Bitcoin? Was this just a lucky break, or was it something more? Mr. Smith was passionate about the digital currency that had made all this possible. According to his girlfriend, he was constantly talking about Bitcoin. If he starts talking about it, he'll never stop. Ever, she said, half-jokingly. It was clear that for Mr. Smith, Bitcoin was more than just a financial asset. It was a way of life. He had invested in it when others were skeptical, and now he was reaping the rewards. His story is a testament to the power of holding on to your beliefs, trusting in emerging technologies, and taking calculated risks when others are too afraid to act. Today, Mr. Smith's net worth is estimated to be between $100 million and possibly $1 billion. His story isn't just one of luck. It's a story of vision, patience, and understanding the potential of an idea before it became mainstream. His life now is a reflection of what can happen when you make bold decisions and stick to your convictions. He may have started out just like any other tech employee, but today, he's living a life that many could only imagine. Bitcoin didn't just change his financial situation, it gave him the freedom to live life on his terms. If you're inspired by Mr. Smith's story and want to learn more about how Bitcoin can change your life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on Crypto Insider USA. And stay tuned for our next video, where we explore the incredible journey of Daniel Crocker, who says, "Bitcoin helped me buy my house." This is one story you won't want to miss.